Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the All Sports Podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Lachlan Turner.
I'm another one of your co-hosts, Liam McDonald.
And I'm your third co-host, Sumit Kadal.
And don't forget, the links to those socials will be in the description down below, so be sure to check those out. We would appreciate it if you follow our TikTok and subscribe to our YouTube. Which is
and if you guys actually check them out, we might start posting on them.
There you go. So, like for like, you want more stuff? Actually, go do that. Then
I swear, if we lose another fucking follower because we've said this, oh my god.
I was about to say, shouldn't we say this when we have followers?
Have faith, guys. Liam, I don't want to cuss you out after what you said the other week about how well we're going to do.
Hey, it's not my fault. I've copped a whole bunch of hours at work and I haven't had time to do anything.
Well, no, I was going to say, you said one thing and now you're all negative? Come on, mate. What are you doing?
It flows week to week.
No, I shouldn't do that.
High, sometimes I'm less.
See, the only... Okay, look, you know what? You do you.
Yeah,
there's no mountain high or valley low to describe.
But another weekend of football happened. Obviously, we're in Thursday, and another weekend of football is about to begin. But I want to start off not talking about necessarily results, but I think it's fair to say there is one team that is underachieved since their flag year, and I'm not talking about obviously West Coast. I'm not talking about Richmond. I'm also talking about the Bulldogs. How do you go from having, on paper, one of the best midfields ever produced since the Brisbane midfield? Like, I'd like to see the battle between the Dogs midfield and the Brisbane midfield back when they did their three-peat. I'd pay to watch that. Their forwards... Like, they've got star power written over them. Norton, Hagen, Darcy, a former top 10 pick. Waitman. And look, you could even throw Bontempelli up there, who's a midfielder / forward, but he kicks goals. Like, when he goes forward, he kicks goals. Their defense, they got runners. They've got Daniel, they've got Dale. Both all Australian players.
They don't have anyone tall down there, though.
Keith can't stay healthy. So why hasn't this team finished top fours in Luke Beveridge? Like, I know I said it the other week that I think the Lions or Chris Fagan is underachieved. I know I said that the other week because by now Brisbane should have a flag with the team that they've had and built over the years. The Bulldogs should have 2 or 3 with the list that they've built and had over the years.
The unfortunate nature of 18 teams playing for one cup is that there's going to be 17 teams that just don't get it right.
But as I said, I think it's fair to say that Luke Beveridge is probably the most underachieved coach in history.
Of this century. Has a flag. There's some coaches in history that have had good teams that haven't got any flags. So,
well, this century definitely.
Yeah.
Like that, they generally should have 2 to 3 flags. Like the Bont is probably the best player that we've seen since Chris Judd retired. I don't think that's
since Chris Judd retired,
which was 2015. 2016 onwards, I don't think there's been a better player in the AFL than the Bont over the years.
I mean, Jeremy Cameron probably gives him a run.
Cameron, peak Nat Fife, maybe. But I'd still put it on the Bont. Now, people were criticising, and the media tried to make it a big deal of him throwing his, at the end, I don't know if you saw it. Once the siren went in that Sydney Bulldogs game, they captured the Bont throwing his mouth up, taking the end and throwing it on the ground, slamming it. And they wanted to try and make it a big deal. As you know, the media does like to do. They like to make small things a really big deal.
So he showed he was passionate and he got slammed for it.
By a certain Facebook page as well. But it's like, now, here is a guy who has carried this team, put them on his back since he came into the league. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
I think he has every right to be as annoyed as he is. Like, he could have left a few years ago if he really wanted to. He didn't. He decided to stay. It seems like he won't probably win a Brownlow in his career. He'll probably be the most unluckiest player in history to not win a Brownlow, I would think. Unless there's certain names that come to... Nigel Lappin's probably one that was very unlucky not to win.
The only member of that midfield that didn't get one.
Yep. He's probably one that was very unlucky not to get one. But, okay, other than Nigel Lappin, you'd probably say Bontempelli would probably be one of the most unluckiest players to not win a Brownlow. Because his resume stacks up with some of the greatest players of all time.
Yeah.
But, so other than the Bont, who would you say, like, Tim English has made a name for himself in the ruck, but his last 4 weeks, even though I'm a massive fan of Tim English, it just hasn't been as good. Like, it hasn't been the standard what we saw in the first, 3 months.
Yeah, but he's still
producing, but not at that level. Well, at the moment, though, I'd still say that he'd be the All-Australian ruckman.
He's a victim of his own high standards.
But that was the thing. When he first came in, he was a project player.
It has taken him a while to get to the point that he is now, though. Well,
but he's there, and I don't think there's any argument that if he didn't get the All-Australian ruckman honours, and they gave it to fucking Max Gawn, for example, I think it'd be the biggest robbery for the All-Australian jersey. I think
since they've started ignoring wingers.
Well, yeah, that too. But there's another issue. Like, okay, moving on from the Bulldogs, and look, they have a big game on Friday against the Dons. Now, I think on paper they should win, and not just win; they should win well. But they haven't been consistent enough.
Depends on if they turn up.
Exactly right. It depends on what Dogs turn up. Like, we know the Bond's going to turn up. We know English is going to turn up.
How many of his buddies turn up with him?
Like, there are certain guys in that team, like Bailey Smith. He just doesn't seem right to me. He doesn't seem to fit the culture at the Dogs, which is why I think him leaving the Dogs would be good. Because at the moment, it just seems like it's all about him at the moment. Like, he's all about himself and not the team. Waitman can be a bit the same. Although he's hit a good run of form, what was he doing at first half of the season? Wasn't really doing much.
Wasn't he injured? He
was injured though. But he took a while to get going.
Because he was injured.
Yeah, but you're playing at the elite level. It shouldn't take you... Well, it should take you at most 3 to 4 games to then finally hit the straps. But it took him a bit. But he's hit a good run of form. So he's probably the only forward. Tomorrow, Ugle-Hagen's an interesting one. Because he was taking pick 1. And that was a couple of years ago. We've probably seen him... He's probably had 3 or 4 very good games, which has shown why he deserved to be the number 1 pick. But, I mean, he's had a good few weeks where he's been actually able to clunk marks compared to, like, the early part of the season.
He just needs to work on kicking goals.
Yes, that's exactly right. Although the games that I'm thinking about that he's played really well this year was the game against Brisbane where he kicked 4 or 5. And he's had a couple of, solid games. But for a number one pick, that isn't good enough. You can't have solid games. You were drafted number one because you were the best player in your age group at the time. Now, there have been a few players from that draft that have...
Well, actually, with the case of Huelsbeck, was he the best? Or is it just that there was a Bulldogs Academy, next generation academy, so they were like, hey, we're just going to make them pay for it?
No, he was the best. I think that, people drew a lot of comparisons to Buddy Franklin. And, he was the best key position prospect, let's put it that way. Well, best forward prospect coming out of that draft. So, but then the other one, Sam Darcy, he just hasn't... He hasn't been able
to have a good run at it because he gets in and then he gets injured or dropped.
Well, he had that lung issue, which is, and that's scary when you're having issues breathing. You know that it is a pretty serious injury, and now he's done another injury, which means that he's not going to be able to play on Friday. But it's a bit. They're in a weird situation. Like the Dogs should make finals because of the team they've got on paper, but it's just depending on what side turns up. Now, speaking of high draft picks, it was reported yesterday that
we talk about the Harley Reid thing.
Yeah. Now, I could have lashed out on this, and this is a criticism to all young draftees, right? You want to play the game that you desperately love. That's understandable. But you can't pick and choose what state you want to fucking play. It is, well, for a start, that is draft tampering, which means that he should not be allowed to actually nominate for the draft this year. He shouldn't be allowed to because he's tampering with the draft. He's tampering with the system. He shouldn't be allowed to do that. I think that's but in saying that, the argument for the other side is, well, why couldn't they do it to guys like Archie Perkins when he did it? For example, why couldn't they do it then? Why start now? Well, for a start, they need to put their foot down.
Archie Perkins wasn't the number one prospect.
No, but he was one of the top prospects of the draft. But that, regardless, whether or not you're the top prospect or a fucking rookie draft prospect, you should not be able to dictate what state you get drafted into because it's tampering. So, and look, they're all mummies boys anyway. They all sook up, worst comes to worst, just get drafted and then sook it up, play your 2-year contract at the AFL club that you get drafted to and then request home. But that's the thing. That is why these AFL players now, I have very little respect for some of them because this is what they do. I have little respect for Luke Jackson. I have very little respect. I have little respect for Horn Francis. And now my respect for Harley Reid has just plummeted down. To a certain extent, Archie Perkins as well, because you're playing a national competition. It is your job. Like, you get the privilege to play a game that millions of Australians love, millions of people would like to do. And here you are bitching about what fucking state you are because you're sad that you won't be able to go home to mummy and not have her cook dinner for you. Like, you're fucking men. You are an adult.
Well, they're still boys at this point.
What is the classified age of an adult? 18. That's when you can legally drive, drink, buy cigarettes, if that's the shit that people are into.
Vote. You can do all that, but you also need to take into account their mental health, their mental age as well. Sure, it's the upbringing of someone that actually determines.
That's where clubs
as well.
That's where clubs have done. They've actually done a lot more into how they treat players interstate when they draft them. I'll give you a good example of how Brisbane went from a club where
5 to.
They paired up McCluggage with one of his mates,
Jared Berry,
who were both played for the same TAC Cup team. And then I think it was another guy a year later that I can't think, but there was another player that had also played for the Bushrangers. I don't think he's not on the list anymore. But that type of stuff, look, you know, if they did that, it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. Like that type of stuff, clubs have been like done that. You know, they pair up the interstate guys. So say both guys are from Victoria. You know, you pair them up in a house, for example. You know, because that way you're with somebody from like home, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but the whole thing with the Harley Reid situation is I don't even think it matters because I don't think West Coast is going to keep the pick.
No, but it's more so the fact that, well, if it is true that he wants to stay in Victoria, the Giants were going to split picks to get pick 1. So he'd be moving north, not fucking west. Like, that's the whole issue. But no, the whole issue with this whole thing is the issue of draft tampering. That's
been around since the draft started. Like Nathan Buckley, way back when, got drafted to the Bears, got told everyone, don't draft me, I want to play for Collingwood, got drafted by the Bears, and then played for a year and then pissed off to Collingwood.
See, this is where they need to make a stance and fucking stop that. You either need to tell players that do this, like young kids that do this. You're signing up, you are nominating yourself to play for any club around Australia. You do not dictate who gets to draft you, who doesn't. And if you try to do that, you'll be ineligible to get drafted. It's as simple as, I mean, it sounds simple, but like there's obviously going to have to be a lot more that goes into that. But I think that's the way they're going to have to go. Like if players are going to do this, they're automatically ineligible to get drafted. Because it is not fair. Because then how are these clubs that have been shit for years, like West Coast are going to be terrible for the next few years. North are going to be, I don't give a shit what people say. North are going to be shit for the next few years. Right. And you get players that say, no, I don't want to get drafted by this club or this club. Well, what the fuck? It's compromising the entire system.
Yeah. The thing that they don't get is the draft is not in place to suit them. The draft is in place to make sure that you don't end up with teams like Geelong and Hawthorn and Collingwood just being on top all the time, and Carlton, because Carlton, for how ordinary they've been, that so many people follow them. But you don't then get all the teams that everyone likes or follow, getting all the players that have had that team as their favorite team forever, and them just pinching all the good players.
That's exactly right. But I think you make a good point. But that's why clubs like Geelong have been so good for so long, because they've been able to develop players.
And honestly, the draft probably disadvantages Geelong the most, because if there was no draft, we still have the zoning system, and all those good Geelong Falcons players that Geelong get back after 8 years of them playing elsewhere, Dangerfield, they would get them straight away.
Exactly. So and that's and that's when they brought that back in the 80s. That it was kind of to help clubs, but they kind of forgot. Like Richmond, for example, they had the fucking northwest, like Mildura and Swan Hill. What fucking footballers come from there? And I'm no disrespect to those towns, but compare that to the zones that Hawthorn and Carlton had, where you look at the players they got from their zones.
It's like, what the?
Exactly. So, but the AFL need to find a way quick smart. And they've already done it with the Next Generation Academy, where good, clubs are ineligible to match bids of their academy players before pick 40. I think that's a good thing, unless unless they have like some indigenous. Well, that doesn't really matter, does it?
I don't know.
Unless it's a father-son player, it doesn't really matter.
I think father-son is the only thing you can match in like the first round now.
First and second round.
Is it both rounds, is it?
Yeah, because you can't match a bid until like pick 40. That's with the next generation academy. Melbourne lost a player because of that. The Gold Coast kid.
Mac Andrew.
Yep. So
yeah.
They need to find a way to make it where draftees, as you said, it's not there to suit them.
And it's not like they would make enough money that moving states isn't a big deal. Like
the only state that it would be really hard to study it would be Sydney. The cost of living there, it's ridiculously.
Because you know how they've been negotiating a new CBA, the players and the league.
Yes.
Well, one of the things they were talking about is because you know how you have to get a player's approval to do a trade. Well, they make enough money now that isn't really as big of a deal because everyone's like, oh, why don't they do what they do in America and the team can just trade anyone? It's like, well, in America, they make enough money that moving and the whole mid-season trading, they make enough money that moving mid-season, while yes, is disruptive, isn't the end of the world.
The AFL, that's a completely different story. They don't earn millions and millions and millions of dollars. So, like, a player may fucking start off in Western Australia and then all of a sudden they move to Sydney and the cost of living there is insane. So...
But yeah, Eddie Maguire made sure they got rid of the cost of living allowance because that's what got them a flag.
In 2012, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's like, still doesn't change how expensive it is to live there.
But, the other issue with the AFL, and this is before I do I'm kind of doing a preview here. I'm not giving you a signal. This is a preview of the, not really the Lashing, but I'm going to whack the AFL for this idea because the idea of having a wild card weekend of finals. I'm going to tell you why this is the most fucking stupid idea that I think they've ever come up with. You've created a system, a top 8 system, to reward the teams that finish in the top 8 a chance at winning a flag. And now you're going to make 7th and 8th compete for the 7th and 8th spot against the 9th and 10th, who don't deserve to play finals because they didn't finish in the top 8. They didn't.
There's a reason why the Ninthman meme is so funny.
But this is... Why are they trying to change? Like, they have so many issues in the game right now, like the draft, whether players don't know how to tackle anymore. The bum's dead.
The pre-finals bye that makes finishing top 4 almost a disadvantage.
And just, I think the overall game has issues. Why the fuck? Like, why add another issue to the whole fucking game? Why are we trying to model this to
America,
NFL, the NBA? Why can't we be our own game? That's what makes this game unique. We copy fucking things from overseas. We're not unique anymore.
Yeah.
Is that a fair statement?
I think they're trying too hard to create games that are guaranteed to be good, but there's no guarantee that any game will be good.
Exactly right. But I think, and it just means that finishing, because look, if they do that, right, you may as well make the bottom 4 sides play each other for the number 1 pick. The side that they could make it the side that wins the most. So all sides play each other. The side that wins the most gets the number one pick. Because if you put it, you lose whoever loses the most gets the number one pick. You're going to get fucking teams tanky.
Yeah.
So and
But if
that'll
the
just create a
AFL
whole
wants-
nother issue.
like an American thing the AFL should probably look into adopting is like a draft lottery. So you avoid teams just bottoming out for the number one pick. Like if they were to adopt
in fairness,
something,
that makes sense. I think that is one thing that I've actually been a strong advocate for the AFL to do. Have a lottery system. I think it makes complete sense. Because that way you don't have teams like what Melbourne and Carlton did back like earlier in the century, where
Melbourne,
Carlton,
yeah.
who else? That's
But
kind of
that year that Melbourne tanked, got the number one pick, and then got the number two pick as a priority pick because they sucked.
and then we find out years later that it's because they were tanking.
Well, they played Jack Watts in the back line in that game that Geelong beat them by 200. Jack Watts is playing in the back line.
That was 2011. That was the year after they got all the tanking stuff.
Oh, well, never mind. But
It was 2008 and 9 were the years that allegedly tanking. But I recall reading a book where it was they called it the Matthew Cruiser Cup. Russell Robinson, he was like he'd never seen things like what he saw, like teams were not trying because they were playing for the Matthew Cruiser Cup.
Well, Carlton ended up winning that and then ruining the poor man's career.
After such a promising start to his career. But I think that, so I went in agreement that the round robin, it just wouldn't work in the AFL.
A wild card round is fucking dumb. Yes.
Yeah. I just don't think it'd work. Now, even though I gave you a preview, I reckon.
Hey, Sumit, do you want to do the honors?
Of what?
Warning headphone users.
All right. Well, headphone users, please be warned. This next segment can get a bit loud.
Yeah, I'm not going to guarantee it's going to be loud. There is the potential for it to get loud.
Yeah, and that's a very big potential. So just warning you guys.
I did say that
it was going to be a calmer one. Yes, you did, but there's still, you could get the adrenaline could impact the vocal cords a little bit.
That's right.
My heart's pumping.
His own words himself. He gets the blood and adrenaline pumping. So
Yep, and at the moment my heart's racing. So,
well, there you go. Be warned.
All right. For a big club, right? For a big club, one of the most successful clubs, who have given their have had their fair share of champions of this sport. The first ever champion, look his name up, Albert Thurgood, first ever champion in the AFL. He won the years that Essendon won. Well, they won 4 VFA flags in a row. He was the superstar of the team. He won the equivalent of the Brownlow medal, champion of the colony 3 times. I think it was 3 times in a row throughout the period. First ever champion. And, we could list the amount of champions. Reynolds, Hutchison, Madden, Tim Watson, Hurd, Lloyd. There's a lot. I can name them all, but I'd be here all day.
Yeah, I don't want to be here all day.
We don't want to be here all day. But, and for a prayer club who've won the most flags, equal most flags, I don't really like saying equal. I just want to say most flags.
Unfortunately, it is equal, so deal with it.
I have to deal with that. Winning the first ever, or being given the first ever flag of the competition when it was formed. But for the last 20 years, this club has had nothing to be proud of. Nothing. They have butchered. And when I say they have butchered opportunities, they have butchered, they fucked careers up
Come on, spit it out, my champ.
Look, okay, this is going to sound really harsh. They have been a fucking disgrace. They have been the most disappointing club of the last 20 years. And that club I'm talking about, if you haven't gathered already, is Essendon. The Essendon fucking football club. And I just fucked up the camera there. Yeah, you saw that, right? I butchered the camera. Last week, right, throughout the year, I have been very skeptical of my views of...
I've been more high on Essendon than you have.
Exactly. And last week, mind you, I know it's Geelong in Geelong, and it's the toughest assignment in football, but tougher than going over to Western Australia at the moment. And that's fucking saying something, because that used to be the toughest assignment.
Most of them suck. That's why it's tough.
But
not tough.
You would have thought, right? Obviously, I went to the first encounter they played Geelong, and I said it at the time, and I said this to you, it was a training drill. And Geelong literally took the foot off the pedal in the last 10 to 15 minutes because they were up by 8 goals. We somehow managed, we kicked the last 2 to 3 goals to make it look like
a respectable score.
Yeah. Last Saturday night was by far, it'd have to be one of the worst losses, I think, in the last 20 years for this club. And I seriously mean that, because you cannot progress, and this is the issue of this fucking club. They progress, like, it's a very slow progression that they make, and then they have one of these which just fucking brings you downhill, and it makes you question whether or not this club is on the right track. It happened under Ben Rutten. It's happened under fucking James Hird. It happened under fucking Matthew Knights, for fuck's sake. And guess what? None of those fucking guys other than Matthew Knights and Ben Rutten, this club has made me question whether or not this club is on the right track. I cannot think of one genuine I don't think they have a genuine superstar that Collingwood or Port would love to have. Nobody on this current team makes me want to go to the football and watch them. None. They haven't had one since Matthew Lloyd, and before that, James Hird. The only player that I think you'd be able to put in like the top 30, 40 best players of all time at Essendon since they last won a final, or even better, since Matthew Lloyd retired, or actually, you know what, we'll go one step further. Since Fletcher retired, Joe Watson. He was the heart and soul of that team for so fucking long. I recall watching games where he was on one leg and he found a way to impact the contest, get involved in a score on one leg. While he had a fucking bloke hanging off his ass and another bloke probably 2 meters away from him. He would get tagged, but yet would still find ways to do whatever he could, put his body on the line for that club. I can't say the same thing about some of these players currently. Merritt, fucking by far the softest captain this club has had in so long. Now, I know he's not the first player this year that's staged, and I find it ridiculous how he was the first.
He's been singled out.
How he's been singled out, which I find fucking, it's annoyed me that. But to fucking go down that easily, and as soon as you tag this bloke, he fucking shrinks. For fuck's sake. Like, what captain is that? He gets shut down and it's like the whole fucking team just shuts off their fucking brain. It is like watching some of the Siege teammates that we play with. That's what it's like. This club, the other thing I don't understand with this club, they'll compete against some of the best clubs. Port Adelaide is a really good example. Probably the second best club this year. We lose to them under a kick twice. And then we only beat a fucking bottom 2 team who has won 9 out of their last 76 games by 6 points. Those are the games you should be fucking flogging them by 80 points. They do not know how to put the fucking foot on the pedal and just keep fucking going. They have had too many fucking years where they'll compete against the top sides, like I mentioned. I'll give you another example. Sydney in 2012 when they won the flag. They trailed by 7 goals. We lost by a point. Trailed by 7 goals at three-quarter time. I'm pretty sure. Lost by a point. Then they proceed to lose to probably the worst Melbourne side in fucking history. Top versus bottom. Lost to them by about 10 points. They've had this for so fucking long. The other thing, people forget, there was one particular year, they had 9 players. Oh, sorry, not 9. They had the most All-Australian players on their fucking list. That was the perfect opportunity to win a fucking final. Nah. I don't even think they made fucking finals that year. And they had
What
the
year
most
was that?
Either 20, I think it was 2018. Or it might have been 2017. No, it would have been 2017. And we all know how that fucking ended, that final. I don't want to repeat that. And when players leave Essendon, they actually get better. Ryder got better at Port. Hibbard's gotten better at Melbourne. Melksham actually got better at Melbourne. Danaher's better.
What the fuck have you done?
It was the light. Danaher's gotten better at Brisbane. Crammery. Fucking Stuart Crammery. I thought he hit his peak at Essendon. No. Proceeds to go and kick like 6 on us.
Melksham?
I said Melksham.
Oh, did you? I
Yep.
was too busy looking at the light on your screen.
Well, yeah, what the fuck have I done? I think I've
I
gone
think
like
it's
that.
fine now.
Yeah, no, I'm fine now. But this club has broken so many hearts. They have 70,000 members, and each. What the? Yeah,
It's
no,
just
the
a
light.
flare. Keep going.
They have players in enough effort. People want to say that Redmond is a must keep. Fuck, I'd be happy if he left because some of the efforts I've seen defensively have been shit. Fucking walking. He's saying killed a game, he was shit. Last week he was shit. Parrish. All-Australian player, right? He'd been running fucking 2 ways rather than just fucking wait till when he's nowhere near when the ball's nowhere near the contest. Fuck me, he may as well be on a fucking holiday. He may as well be on a missing fucking persons list. The other player that I was a fan of his when we got him. I thought we'd give him another opportunity, right? If a key forward goes goalless for 7 straight weeks, wouldn't you think it's time to fucking drop the player?
Put him into the Magoos.
Put him in the Magoos. Give a player that's actually performed in the Magoos a chance. Well, why the fuck haven't we done that? The other one. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's talk about their draft history, right?
Oh, here we fucking go.
Now, last year's first round choice, right? And look, Essendon have some of the worst medicos, I think, in the AFL. Well, until recently, because we pinched the Brisbane guy, which I'm very happy with, because he's gotten everybody healthy, and hopefully he fucking finds out what's wrong with the surface of Tullamarine. That makes our players fucking drop like fucking flies. Elijah Sartaz had a foot injury last year, right? Yeah, he had a foot injury. Had a fucking foot injury. Right? At our pick, who was drawing comparisons to the Bont. If you have a player, right? You have a player that plays like the Bont, the best player of the past. Fuck, what year are we in? 2013. I'll go better. The past decade. The past decade. You have a
Decade's only
player
like
of that
3 years
caliber.
long, mate.
What?
Decade's only 3 years long.
Shut up. You have a player of that caliber still on the board who oozes confidence. And you don't take him? I know it's only 1 year, but who's been on the field?
Yeah, but being on your field your rookie season, it's like you judge the whole career, not the first year. Just look at the Sam Walsh Connor Rosie thing.
Oh, so now you agree with me that Rosie's better?
Can you just fucking take a win and just not fucking harp on it? Fuck me. Go back to your drawn out 20-minute lashing of Essendon.
Thank you for admitting that I was right there.
I'm not going to make a habit of it, don't you worry.
Oh, yes, you fucking will. And then, all right, and then we'll go the year before that. The year before last year.
Oh, Benny Hobbs. What a man.
You get offered 3 fucking draft picks for a pick in the teens? How fucked do you have to be to reject that? I don't give a fuck if the guy is the next coming of fucking Jesus. You accept that fucking trade. Instead, we've got a guy who can't fucking kick, gives away fucking stupid free kicks, and fucking tries to fucking size up Ruckman when fucking he knows very well that he'd get fucking dropped like that. Fucking, he has not shown me why he deserved to have been drafted by us. He hasn't. He hasn't impressed me at all. I know you like to say that he's impressed you just to get on more fucking nerve, and you wait until this recording's finished, and I'm gonna fucking lash at you off record.
Oh, so
if you do
no safety on this lashing, huh?
Oh,
no holds barred.
I'm gonna fucking seriously lash you. You won't even know what a lashing is anymore. You won't know what a lashing is anymore. And do we have to go into fucking drafting a bloke with hamstring issues in 2012? Elliot Kavanagh had hamstring issues. We drafted him pick 18. Now, I know you're going to say, oh, fuck, that's only pick 18. But you're using a first-round pick on a kid. You'd want to make sure that if you know your club has had trouble keeping players fit, you don't draft an injury-prone player! Fuck! Which is why I was happy when North took Wardlaw instead of us. Because he had hamstring injuries, and look at that! He did his hamstring on the weekend! And don't even get me started on David Myers and Scotty Gumbleton. That was just... You take David Myers? David Myers over Cyril Rioli, who wanted, and this isn't draft tampering, he expressed his love for Essendon. His uncle played there. He wanted to play for Essendon. Instead, we take some fucking dopey left footer. And then Gumbleton. Scotty fucking Gumbleton. When you had... Do I have to read out these names? It's really painful.
No, I don't think you do.
Travis Boak.
He's all right.
What about Joel Selwood?
He's all right too.
Fucking better, all right? He's probably the best captain this fucking century.
Stiff shit, Luke Hodge.
I don't give a fuck. So, Essendon, for the love of fucking God, show me something the next 2 years. Shut up. Fuck, sweet. Fuck off. Win a fucking final. I'm at a guffle. You've made us sit through 3 fucking rebuilds for no finals win. We've seen Collingwood rebuild, win a flag, fucking rebuild, and now they're contending again. We've seen Melbourne rebuild, and now they're fucking contending. We've seen West Coast do the exact same fucking thing. So show me something, for the love of God. And you guys better fucking respond this Friday against the Dogs. I'll be there. And if you don't fucking win, God, you know what? I don't even have you guys in the 8 anyway, so I can't even be fucking mad. So, Essendon, you can go and get stopped. It got pretty passionate towards the end there.
Yeah, so much for tame and
Yeah.
not loud.
I have spit on my mic. That's how much oh my God, I feel my veins popping in my neck. Oh, that fucking hurts. Fucking hell.
I don't know what to make of that. I legit think you just went for 20 minutes.
Oh, fucking cry me a river, cunt. Like, seriously?
A bit of succinct and to the point would have been nice.
It's the long build-up.
Instead of the fucking entire history of Essendon as a disappointing club.
I agree.
Hey,
That was
you didn't.
excruciating to watch, listen as well.
They had to live through that. Now I have to record. I have to edit that.
I feel worse for you.
You know what? I just love the fact that you admitted that I was right about something because you've never done that before. So,
I've never said you were right about anything. What the fuck?
hey, no, you agree with me about Rosie being better than Walsh. I mean,
So that's the first time I've ever agreed with you. Is that what you're contending?
Yep. That is literally the first time you've ever agreed. I can't remember. Okay, you name 2 things that you've agreed with me on. Exactly. Yeah. If you have to go and then think about it, it's the first time.
But it's the entire time I've known you. The only thing we've ever agreed on is.
Oh, I can't fucking on.
Well, that's what you're fucking saying.
Oh. Well, it's the first time where you finally, after for so long, trying to just say shit to get on my nerve and then finally admitting it.
Hey, you want to know another one?
What?
I think Mitch Owens has a chance to win the Rising Star.
You actually agree with it? No, you're saying that just to make me feel fucking good.
I'm about to send you a photo that indicates that I more than agree with it.
You know what? I said I want to be humble about things, but if people are going to be out there, like you guys, to deliberately annoy me, I think I have a fucking right to be on my high horse when you guys agree with me about something.
Never mind. My phone's not going to let me show you the evidence.
All right. Okay, well, look.
Oh, it is. But you're not allowed to tell everyone what I'm showing you.
Why not? My bad to...
Because we don't want to promote this type of shit.
Oh, because your poor man Will Ashcroft won't win it?
Yeah, we'll go with that. You know what? I'm not showing you now. You can wait.
No, you can go get fucked.
You fucking ruined it.
What?
Anyway, fucking Pat Cummins doesn't know how to win a toss.
Hang on. No. I don't want to talk about that yet.
Why not? You've just talked about fucking football for 40 minutes.
I'm going to cricket, but I'm not going to talk about the Ashes yet.
Well, all right, wait.
Sorry,
Since he's not going to talk about the Ashes,
what are we going to talk about?
I want to talk about Wimbledon. How the fuck did Djokovic lose that?
The first fucking, you know that guy that won it, right?
Yeah,
Since
Alcaraz.
He was born, only 4 people have won Wimbledon.
I know.
He's the 5th person to win it since he was born.
Yeah. What the fuck?
It's wild. Absolutely wild.
I know. And the game itself, fuck me. He got destroyed by Djokovic in the first set, right? 6-1. In the first game, sorry. 6-1. And then he comes back 7-6. That one took a while though. They played 8 rounds.
Like a tie break.
Yeah. And then he comes back to destroy Djokovic in the 3rd round. 6-1. Djokovic comes back after that 6-3, but then Alcaraz finishes it off with a 6-4.
Sucks to be old, Novak. Sucks to be old.
Oof.
Should have got
Yikes.
fucking vaccinated, you dopey cunt.
What does that have to do with him losing at Wimbledon?
Oh, no, I just felt like I wanted to give Novak shit. I can't stand the
Oh
fucking
God.
creep. But, all right, we have to acknowledge that this person might be the greatest athlete Australia's actually ever produced. The first player to have taken make 6,000 international runs and 300 international wickets. First Australian to do so. Obviously, it's not Ricky Ponting. It's obviously not Steve Smith. Not Mark Waugh, not Steve Waugh. None of that. And look, we could even say the new Australian cricket GOAT. So move over Bradman, move over Steve Smith, move over Ponting.
Move over Nathan Lyon.
Move over Nathan Lyon.
Is he currently playing in the squad?
Who said it was a he?
Elise Perry.
Oh.
First woman, to have scored six. Well, I've already said that, but it is a fine achievement. Like we have to know, she's the first Australian cricketer, men or women, to do that.
Oh, and you think about how little they play.
Exactly. That is really impressive.
So I mean, I think it's fair to say that, and I think it's a good point though. She could be. Well, I reckon she is probably the greatest athlete Australia's produced because. You know, people want to harp on about how Scott Penderbury has a basketball background, but wasn't she selected for Australia in the Soccer World Cup when she was really young as well?
Yeah,
so
she used to play soccer. She used to play for the Matildas and cricket.
Mm-hmm.
My point exactly. I don't think it's out there to say that she's the greatest athlete Australia's ever produced.
I mean, people would probably give you an argument for like Kathy Freeman or one of the really good long distance runners we have.
Yeah, I know, but it's a good debate to have though.
It's a good point to have.
But imagine what her statistic would be like if the women played like the men's schedule.
Oh,
and where with her,
crazy.
Like she's really good in the longer format too. So her record.
She bats at 3, doesn't she?
Yep. It outstanding. In like being a match winner for Australia as well. So I mean, not just her. Obviously, there's been a Lachie, Healy. I mean, but Elise Perry.
But you can say that
is Australia's cricket is Australia's cricket GOAT now. Tell me I'm wrong.
Actually, that's a fair point.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Bradman was pretty good.
But did he take 300 wickets?
He didn't need to take 300 wickets.
It's not good enough, champ.
It's not good. You're not good enough, and you just champed me for saying Bradman was good.
You know what? That's going to come back to haunt you right there.
Yeah, that's going to really come back to haunt me. I feel like something I'm going to get cleared for that.
Very much so.
But no, well, but like to be able to do both at a very, very high level, like Perry has, very hard to fucking do. So
are you arguing that all rounders are automatically better than everyone else because they do both?
If they do it at a very high,
Jacques Kallis is the greatest cricketer of all time.
I'd argue that, yes.
Probably.
I dead set argue that. He did both at a very high standard too. Very good at both. So
I'd throw in Jadeja in there as well. He's got the fielding to back him up too.
Jadeja couldn't tie fucking Kallis' boots.
Freddie Flintoff is better than Jimmy Anderson.
Who?
Freddie Flintoff is better than Jimmy Anderson.
I could argue that, yes. What the fuck are you saying?
Okay.
I just generally think I'm more impressed with players like cricketers that can do both at a very, very high level.
Yeah.
So
that's fair because then instead of you're not focusing on just one aspect of the game, you're focusing on pretty much everything. So,
yeah,
but keeping, but
they would be the hardest players to like analyze and go, how are you going to expose their weakness? All right, yeah, you've analysed their batting, but what about their fucking bowling or vice versa?
That's right. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
So you reckon Cam Green's going to get to that point?
I mean, he has the potential, but
I
wouldn't say. I think you can't really tell what he's like really good at the moment because he's having a lean patch with the bat and he's bowling. Well, fuck, he got discarded, like dispatched.
Well, his bowling hasn't been up to standard. I mean,
no, neither has his batting.
No, I mean his batting was okay, but he's going through a bit of a patch.
He has such a massive weakness. Like teams keep getting him out for fuck all because ordinary. He's in on potential.
But so many players have been like that. Shane Watson, for fuck's sake.
Marsh before his most recent run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I suppose, yeah. But, yeah, just thought to bring up the fact that I wanted to start a good debate there. Is Elise Perry the greatest Australian cricketer of all time now after achieving that? Well, you'd have to put her.
I reckon it's probably Bradman.
You'd have to put her top 5 of all time.
Well, who would be okay? No particular order. Top 5.
Oh,
Bradman.
That's rough.
Bradman, Border. Wait, are we doing like cricket ability or
just stats?
Oh, we could probably go ability, but I mean that's the thing though. Her
just like standing in Australia cricket.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so it would be like Bradman, Border would be up there.
What about Warne?
Yeah, Shane Warne would have to be up there. That's 3.
Ponting.
McGrath.
Well, you've named 4. Oh no, you've named 5.
You named 5.
All right, I'll go my 5 in no particular order. I'd go.
No, but I'm not. I have that. That's not my 5. That's like guys that could be up there.
Oh yeah. Well, if we're going cricketers of all time for Australia, like men and women, I mean, Bradman, Perry, Ponting, Warne and McGrath. That's who I'd have.
You wouldn't have AB in there?
Oh, yeah, it's very tough. That's
pretty much the greatest captain we've ever had. No, not pretty much. He is the greatest captain we've ever had.
I might swap Ponting out for AB.
Oh, cool.
Because I don't think Australia hasn't had a captain that's lost the Ashes 3 times in a row. Well, not 3 times in a row, but has lost the Ashes 3 times. I don't think, at least.
That's fair.
So, but I mean that'd be my top 5. So what? I had Bradman, Perry, AB, McGrath, and Warne. Like but that'd be my if we had to put a Mount Rushmore, but obviously with 5 of them, that'd be mine.
That's fair. I'd have to agree with Liam's 5 though.
Yeah, but I don't know who I'd knock out of my. It would probably be.
I'd probably
make an
argument.
Yeah, knocked out of mine to put in Perry.
I'd probably knock out Ponting for Perry.
But as I said, I told you I don't see. I've told you this for so long. I don't come up with I don't always come up with stupid shit.
I never said you always came up with stupid shit.
No, I haven't.
I said I don't. I've never said that you only come up with stupid shit. Why the fuck are you attacking me for?
I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you clearly. That's my fault.
Get your fucking ears checked. All your yelling's fucked up your hearing.
Oh, yeah, you want to talk about fucking hearing, son? Yeah,
Did
yeah,
you
yeah.
sun me?
Okay,
He sunned you. He sunned you.
I just fucking champed you now, so come
You
on.
sunned and champed me.
Yep. Hey, you keep calling me old.
Don't champ me, mate.
Yeah, and you keep arguing with me. So if you want to be able to sun me, just admit that you're old. Then
I'm not. You're like the same age as
you
me, cunt.
geezer.
Don't sun him.
I can fucking do what I want.
You showed your age when you sunned me, you
Fucking
geezer.
old
Fuck
people.
off. Nah, you're gonna give me shit for that now. Oh, I fucking hate you.
Jeez.
All right,
You
now.
know, I've heard old people were cranky. I didn't realize it until
You
I
know
saw
what?
you.
I'll tell Nick that you sunned me.
Oh, fuck off, man. You know what? I want to say with the men's Ashes, it looks likely that Australia are going to retain it because it's going to get washed out day 4 or 5.
Most likely.
I'm going to go on.
If we make it to day 4 or 5.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, it'll get washed out on day 3. Like, the weather's shitty up pretty much from day 3 onwards.
Yeah, if you look at the forecast, it's really bad. But
Yeah.
I'm going to go and attack Piers Morgan because I'm sick of his shit. I'm really
Piers
sick of his
Morgan is a shock jockey. Like he doesn't have a valid opinion. He just says the most controversial thing he can to get clicks.
Yeah, but like
Pretty much.
I
What did
know,
he say this
but
time?
see, the thing is, though, he was giving a shit to Australia for, doing all that shit. And, I'm just going to let him know about, the next opportunity you guys get to actually hold the Ashes earned in 2025, which means it would be about 10 years since you actually last held the fucking thing. And if we look back, when we next record and Australia have retained it, we need to look up things that happened in 2015. Like key moments that happened in 2015, which is the last time that England held the Ashes. No, I think that'd be quite funny. Send that all to your pommy mates and just listen to them fucking moan and groan.
That's right. If your arrogance costs Australia the Ashes, I'm never going to let you live this down.
I said if this gets whitewashed,
You
which
sound a lot like me at the start, like during the Melbourne-Brisbane game when I was banging on about how we're going to waltz to the flag.
and then you got really
nothing can
annoyed with me
stop
when I was
us.
giving you a taste of your own medicine.
Yeah, but you sounded a lot like me right now.
Yeah, I'm giving you a taste of your own medicine, aren't I?
I'm just warning you that it's not
If
pretty.
shit goes wrong, it's your fault.
Oh, you're not gonna fucking blame me. Nah, see, what I liked about that Friday game is that you did that. I don't know if you were trying to get a reaction out of me, but you did.
No,
And
I was
I'll give
getting
you a taste.
hyped. I didn't give a shit how you reacted. I was getting hyped because Ashcroft. When I said Ashcroft is him, it was after he kicked his goal. When I said Fletcher was him, it was after he kicked his goal. Okay, it wasn't like.
But even leading up to the week, I know you were just saying shit, and I don't know if you were trying to get a reaction out of me or get me to get annoyed. And well, it worked. Well, I was really pissed off, and I just wasn't gonna have a fucking bar of it. So that's when Melbourne won. I was like, Melton is him, and that reaction that you gave was fucking funny. I love that so much. Oh, it brought joy to me. That sounds really cunty of me, but I was just giving you a taste of your.
What annoyed me about that is when I was saying my shit and then you pretty much just said that I don't have a single realistic football opinion, and then
No, I never said that. Go back. No. Look, I'm going to go through the fucking messages now, and I'm going to fucking. Oh yeah, you're going to. I never said. You are putting words in my mouth. I never said that. Who's gonna get? You're gonna get there first.
Oh, I've gone too far.
Oh, I haven't.
Who will get there first? Stay tuned to find out.
Okay. So the first on this fateful night, the first thing you ask is if I'm getting on Siege, and it's like no, because I'm going to watch the footy. Then Ashcroft is him, kicked a goal. And someone, apparently he'll always be Sheasel's bitch.
Wait, did I say that?
Then I said Fletcher is him. Brisbane have the best youngsters in the comp. Don't at me. And then Petrarca started going nuts. So you said Petrarca is him, give him the Brownlow. And then I said better him than a Port or Pies player. And then Gorn owning the ruck battle like it was going to be any other way while they're still losing. Overrated.
Oh, no, that's right. No, because you were being arrogant. And I said being realistic is a lot better than being arrogant. That's what I was referring to. You didn't take it like that, though. I'm up to the point where you said, so one of us is allowed an opinion. And I said, no, I'm saying being realistic is a better approach. I never said that only one of us was allowed an opinion. So you were putting words in my mouth trying to rat me out. So you could, you know what? Nah, Liam, you can go get fucked now. Trying to put words in my fucking mouth like that. Nah. I ain't letting you get away with that shit.
Yeah, but like, so you said, well, Melksham is him, and I told you to fuck off.
Yeah.
Former Don as well. Both sides led by roughly 5 goals, which makes weird. Why can I fuck off? You and I both know you don't think that, so don't get cute now.
Hang on, but in saying that, though, I was doing that to get a reaction out of you because it felt like you were trying to get a reaction.
Fucking worked, you rat.
No, everything that I was saying before that, like if we wanted to say someone's an overrated, how about we call Chris Huelsbeck an overrated coach? I was saying that to get a reaction out of you, and you fucking bit.
Yes, I bit. I was going through it. My emotions were all over the place.
And then you're like, you can go and shove that. And then I'm like, record speaks for itself. And then you're like, this shit, you know what? I'll go to where it was, Fletcher is him. Brisbane had the best youngsters in the comp. Fucking don't at me. And then I did the fucking, that emoji. And then I'm like, biggest load of shit. And you're like, well, so rude. Petrarca is him giving the Brownlow better him than a poor or Pies player. And then I angrily reacted my own fucking thing.
Like a dumbass.
And then I'm like, well, that's not happening. Gorn owning the ruck battle like it was going to be any other way. And then you pretty much called Gorn overrated.
I did.
Half a game to go, even round reunion has been kicking our ass. And then that was when I said, also, if we want to say someone's overrated, I bet we call Chris Huelsbeck an overrated coach. He can only do well in the regular season, but finals, he's got no clue. And then you're like, mate, change the game plan in the second quarter and you can go shove that and like record speak for itself. And then you're like, this is the year it changes. That's what poor fans say with Hinkley. And it doesn't. So it ain't happening. They'll play Port in the first final and get dropped, which they probably will at this point if they stick that. And then you're like, mate, Hinkley sucks. Fags is him. And I'm like, no, he isn't. And I called him average. Still better coach than most of the coaches in the comp. And I said, still average. Why do you say that like average is a bad thing? And I think I make a good point here saying that because average doesn't get premierships. It doesn't. Average does not get you unless you're Luke Beveridge. This is the year. And then I said, no, it isn't. That's a joke for April 1st. And then, you said, this is the most arrogant thing I think you fucking said. I mean, I'll be happy come September with a flag. And I'm like, going to have to go through Port and Collingwood, which won't happen. And then
Oh no.
You won't lose to the Collie Wobbles at all this year, 3 for 3. And I said, yes, you will. You can keep your Saki opinion. I'm going to be high on optimism and arrogance. And then I said, there we go. There is a difference between having an opinion and being arrogant. I speak what I think. I know you do. You're doing the same. And then you said, like, I'm doing the same thing. Well, I was meant to say I'm realistic. I think this was a really shitty thing for me to say. Well, I was meant to say I'm realistic when it comes to football. And that's when you said, so one of us has laid an opinion. Got it. There is a difference between arrogance and a fucking opinion. And what you were doing was being so arrogant, it was not even funny. And you know what? We'll let everybody else listen to this. Oh, I shook my phone, so now it wants to report a message. And then you're like, I have more fun this way, quoting you. You know, I'm going to screenshot this. I'm actually going to fucking screenshot this, and then I'm going to give you shit when you guys lose in the finals. I'm such a cunt. And then I'm like, fair enough. And then you asked me, how's Siege going, man? And then you... 9:37, Jared Lyons is him. And then I'm like, no, he isn't. And then you give me the sad reaction. And then to get a reaction out of you, I was like, how in the fuck? I was going to say something a lot worse than that, but I understand that you guys take like a 4-goal lead with like 10 minutes to go. And then you're like,
7.
And then
7 minutes to go.
Eric marked that ball. Fucking Vic biased. Well, Melksham is him. That's what I say, Melching was in. And then you said you can actually fuck right off. 4 more done as well. Both sides led by roughly 5 goals, which makes it weird. Why can I fuck up? You and I both know you don't think that. Actually, at the time, I actually thought that.
No, you fucking didn't.
I genuinely thought. I have never seen a game where, well, rarely you see a game, and I actually explained it later.
I don't care about the game. I'm only talking about the Melksham thing. You can fuck off with that.
He's him.
No, he fucking isn't.
Hang on, who kicked the goal that meant the most?
Who got punched by Stephen May?
Sorry?
Who got punched by Stephen May?
And one of those guys out of the 5 that we mentioned, or 6, has a flag. The others don't.
I have to leave Essendon to get it.
No, get fine. You're leaving this in, bitch. And then, yeah, you're like, you and I both know you don't think that. And then you're like, so don't get all you now. And then I'm like, I'm not. It's actually exactly how I feel because you never see that every day. I actually genuinely think that and still do. I've noticed, though, over the years, sides will often take the foot off the gas after leading by 5 goals. It's a dangerous margin. Check the stats. It's fucking facts. It's true. We started playing not to lose. Wait. Instead of playing to win. Recipe for disaster. And then I'm like, that's where I make another good point here. That's where coaches and leaders on the field will make their presence known and didn't. So hence why I keep calling Chris Fagan an average coach. I don't get why they sub Berry out when there were players like Rayner who weren't doing.
Hey, you leave fucking Cam Rayner alone.
You know, I'll make it out here. One of the most underwhelming number 1 picks, along with Andrew McGrath. There you go. I fucking said it. Rayner was one of the few doing
every day of the week and twice on fucking Sunday. Actually, you know what? 3 times on Sunday. That's how much I take fucking Rayner over McGrath.
Wait, are you talking about the same McGrath who fucked up Charlie Cameron? Who sooked it up to the umpire?
Like a fuck.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. What are you going to say now? Vic Byers?
No, not Vic Byers. Just fucking grubby defender.
And then I said, fair. And then I'm like, Gordon and Petrarca put the teams on their back tonight. Looking at the last
you know what? You want to know about Vic Byers? Fucking the amount of times Brisbane the last quarter got penalised for hanging off Petrarca like a blanket, right? Happens to Charlie Cameron, Lachie Neal, all the fucking time and never gets called. Never.
See, but there's
difference. Oh, you touch Petrarca.
Hang on, Hang on. But one of those 3 players is actually good. One of those guys has a premiership medal and a Norman Smith.
You know what? I've been Liam McDonald, and I don't care if the other 2 are ready to finish. I'm done.
No.
I'm ending it. Like, if you guys want to say goodbye and not appear.
No.
I'm pressing stop recording. No,
please don't. Okay. No, and then I'll get to the end where I sent the photos, the screenshots that I took, and then you're like, does it really matter anyway? They won anyway.
You know why I was pissed with this? Because I was at work on a fucking Monday morning, right?
That was Saturday.
No, I was at work on Saturday morning, right?
That's what I fucking said.
But I was at work on Saturday morning, right? I had 2 Brisbane. There's 2 regulars that are Brisbane fans that come through, and they said I looked so down in the dumps. Like, I looked depressed. Oh, no. They told me to cheer up. And then I get out of work, and the first thing I see is you going, oh, wow, no fucking way. And the obvious
I actually forgot to explain myself.
Yeah, so I get out of work, and I see a message from you that says, wow, obvious fucking free kick was missed. And then I'm like, which way? No, and I said, which way? And then you went, oh, Eric Hipwood got someone in a fucking headlock. And everyone's talking about how this mark was robbed from Eric Hipwood, but he had him in a headlock. It's like, I don't give a fuck at that point.
To be fair, you didn't let me explain it at that point. Oh, no.
I just got out of work. I had some absolutely horrible customers that day.
I didn't explain the context of that. I didn't explain the You guys, hang on.
You
Okay, no. We want to talk about shitty things.
Sink the boot in even more.
Hang on. We want to talk about me doing shitty. And look, I have done shitty things in the past, yes, but I don't go out and purposely annoy people. And when I do it, I get crucified. But yet I'm there, I have to cop it. Like, I'm sorry, but fucking, what is it? Payback's a bitch. Well, I'm giving everybody fucking payback that just goes out of their way to purposely annoy me. You know, and you know what? I'm fucking sick of it. You know you do it, and you know you do it. So don't fucking tell me that I do shitty things when out of everybody, I do the least shitty things to anybody.
You got to pick your moments, though. That was a shitty moment.
No, that fucking wasn't. That was fucking valid. This man was fucking being the most arrogant fucking flog, and he deserved it. You know it too. Don't you? You know it.
Maybe.
No, I wasn't talking to you.
Not on Saturday morning after work.
Well then,
You know he's gonna edit all this out, right?
he better not.
I'm too lazy to edit this shit out.
Yeah, no,
It's
you're
a
not
miracle
going.
I edited out the. Well, I'm not going to say what joke it was because then there's no point in me editing it out. But I edited it out. Okay, I didn't say what it was.
Okay, good. But we went from talking about cricket to then talking about shit that happened last fucking Friday. Because you went to that's right, you put words in my mouth that I never said. And I had to go out and prove you wrong. And
It
not
was
only
the
did I
vibe
do
of the
that,
thing, mate.
sorry.
I was speaking vibes.
And not only that, I went and fucking just sunk the boot in a bit more. Oh shit, that's funny. But hey, look, I'm just saying, arrogance pays a price. Uh-oh. I feel like something's about to happen. No, don't.
He's gonna leave.
No, don't.
No, he knows exactly what I'm about to do.
I know exactly what you're about to do, and don't you dare fucking do it.
Or what?
But for those who don't know, he's about to mute me or just turn my camera off. Don't do it.
Or what? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do if I do it, huh? What are you gonna do?
He's probably just gonna say,
I'll fucking grill you. Oh,
Sorry, what was that? I can't hear you. Sorry, what was that?
oh, you fucking done did it now, cockhead. I'll fucking lash you next week. Don't you fucking worry.
Send me this bit of the recording. I'm gonna put it on the TikTok.
Hey, Lachie, guess what? You've got old man memory. I don't think you'll remember to.
You don't think I will remember who I'm gonna lash?
No, you're not gonna remember. And if you do,
Funnily enough, you said that the last like 2 to 3 times,
you're not gonna remember.
and I've done that. You said I wasn't gonna 10 kill you in a game. And you said that for the whole week. And I waited exactly a week to kill you, and I got my opportunity and did it.
You're not going to remember. You don't have it in you.
You know what's funny? I've been recording that last bit too.
Why?
What's wrong with you? You can always find it on the file, the Google files.
Yeah, but do you think I'm fucking smart enough to go on that? No. Fuck no.
Off burn. That's rare.
But yeah.
Well, I think that's enough train wreck for 1 week.
Yeah, it's been good lashing. Well, me lashing what I thought I was gonna do a nice calm lash at Essendon, and I've ended up lashing at me good mate.
Let's be honest, for 15 minutes it was nice and calm. The last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That's when you put your foot down. Then lashing Liam, I had to throw in one last I didn't even mean to. But he put words in my mouth, and I had to just fucking put my foot down and just go, nah, not copping this shit no more. So I put my foot down, didn't I? Fucking exposed you, didn't I? Fucking arrogant flog.
We're still going to win the flag, so it doesn't matter.
Have to beat Port in Adelaide first, and you can't do that.
I think this year's like the first year in a while we haven't beat them in Adelaide, so.
And it'll continue. because you're going to get fucked. Charlie Cameron's going to get locked down and fucking sooked to the umpires like usual. And I can't wait for that because I'll give you shit for him not stepping up into a game, or in a big game.
If he played for a Victorian team, he'd get the most free kicks in the league.
No, we wouldn't. No, we
Yes,
wouldn't.
he would.
No, he wouldn't, because then we could say the same thing about Cody Waitman. Yeah, he gets no love. Ginnivan gets no love. They
Yes,
play
but
for the
see,
Victorian club.
Cameron doesn't dive to get whacked in the head. He actually gets grabbed. So
So does Ginnivan. So does Waitman.
Ginnivan
don't
can't
get
even
paid.
play in the ones. He's in the twos, getting absolutely manhandled.
But they never get called. So, and they play for a Victorian club. You'd think that they get looked after, but they don't. Your point? Toby Green doesn't get looked after. I mean, I know he plays for a fucking Sydney club, but still. I'd put Toby Green ahead of Cameron in the All-Australian squad right now. Fair reason too. One can actually play. One's actually a big game player. Anyway, I reckon this is a good time to end it because I feel like you're about to do something fucking untowards. Am I right?
If we don't end it now, I might get cancelled.
I've been Lachlan Turner. Were we ending it or?
I'm stewing.
And I'm reveling in this fun.
Yeah,
fun
fuck you,
time.
you bystander. Bye.